this Google update every few days. How do you handle it?
Um, so there are a few ways you can do it. We are more into the data thing. We do not really go and do everything what we used to do like two years back or 3 years back. Luckily, we survived all these updates as well with our own projects and even the client projects as well.
Thing like link building is useless. Do this some of my strategy.
I know. We've been in the industry for so long.
Yeah.
And I openly say I still use PBNs.
AI, Chat GPT 3. What's going on, brother? What have you been testing?
It's powerful.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the SEO Wisdom Podcast. Today, I have a really good friend and one of my mentors who has helped me on my SEO journey since years, and he's none other than Rohin Dua. Rohin Dua,
Hey,
welcome.
what's up, everyone? How are you?
Yeah, doing good. I'm just in
Thanks
Bali.
again for inviting me for this podcast. It's really a pleasure to be up here, man.
Yes. And how are you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. Busy as always. Busy with the family, with the work, and a lot of changes which been happening in the SEO world right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that keep us busy and the team all the time.
Yes. Yeah, too much is happening, like too many updates, too many now Chat GPT 3 AI, and everybody's talking about it, new strategies. So yeah, lot of
Yeah,
noise.
last 6 months been crazy actually. A lot of there was an October update, and then there was a December update, which was a crazy one. And then all these AI things starting coming up, and this Chat GPT that just made the whole thing 360 round. So yeah, we've been using that thing a lot, which probably we'll be talking throughout this podcast as well.
Yeah. And Rohin, before we dive deep into it, for
Yep.
all the listeners that are listening, I'm sure like most of them know you and they know what you do, but maybe you can give them a little introduction.
Oh yeah, sure. So yeah, guys, myself Rohin Dua, and I've been practicing SEO for the past 12 years now. I still remember the days when the SEO was very new. In that case, we used to publish the content, and the content was like ranking up on page 2 or page 1, pretty much within 24 to 48 hours. So yeah, that's a time when we started SEO, and by profession, I did my engineering in mechanical engineering, and my master's was in artificial intelligence. And that's one of the reasons why I'm really enjoying this AI thing right now. So yeah, 2012, when there was a big transition myself, I planned a big overseas thing, moved along with my family back to India. I was in Australia at that time. So yeah, that was the time I was thinking like, what should I start working on? And that was a thing when this SEO thing clicked my mind. So I started purchasing the website, started working on them, lots of files, and lots of wins were going on. And then slowly and slowly building out my interest in SEO. So right now, we got a team of about like 60 people, full-time people working for us. Many, and there are many people in the remote areas as well. So yeah, that's another thing. And yeah, but we've been enjoying all this, enjoying all the journey, working for 200 plus projects right now, which is crazy. So a lot of automations going on at our place, and just loving this SEO and family life kind of a balance as well.
Wow. Beautiful introduction, brother.
Oh, thanks.
I was just thinking today, like, when was the first time we met? And yeah, it's been a long while. And it was like somewhere around maybe 3-4 years ago when I was coming out of
Yeah,
this whole Corona thing. And I
yeah,
saw your
yeah.
interviews with, yeah. And I saw your interviews with Chris Walker, And
Yeah, yeah, true.
and you mentioned like you from Amritsar, like my same town I was in. And I was like, I need to
Yeah,
message this guy,
true.
He
Oh
sounds
yeah.
really cool. And
For
he's
everyone who doesn't know, like Sakit's place and my place is like 10 minutes drive,
yeah,
maybe,
10 minutes,
probably. Yeah.
10 minutes drive.
So something like that. That's the other thing. He doesn't stay here. He is more into kind of a digital nomad life up in Bali or Dubai. But yeah, it's not too far actually. So that's one of the reason we have met a few times throughout all this year, have spent a good time together, have a lot of discussion about this digital marketing things and a lot of opportunities kind of thing stuff as well.
Yeah. And the best part about messaging you, and what dragged me towards meeting you was, like your humility. Like every interview you were doing, you were sharing so much knowledge, and you were just like so simple to the point, no bragging and nothing like that. Because, in our SEO community, there could be like some SEOs who just like, see, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I believe. Like, I think the knowledge should be given to everyone. If we know anything, rather than I should go and start disclosing all that information by the time it gets obsolete, it's much better to start involving the people and telling them that what kind of testing we are working on, and maybe try to get their inputs as well. A lot of people we started on, and now we are a closed community with those SEOs as well. And we do invite them for, all right, this kind of testing we are doing, would you want to be a part of that? And the same thing they are actually doing now as well. It's kind of an idea. I got it from I remember Kyle Roof. He
Right,
do the
right,
same kind of thing. He has got a kind of a close community of SEOs who do
right.
a lot of testing together. So we thought like go in the pretty much in the same fashion as well. So I got full-time three full-time guys who are not doing any kind of office stuff, and they are more into the day-to-day testing with myself as well. So I just tell them at the very start of the month, all right, this is what we are going to start working on, this is how we need to involve and getting more on page stuff and off page, and all the different parameters. And then their work is to keep executing that thing
Right, right.
day in day out. So it's just a lot more easy that way. And then obviously the other SEOs are helping as well.
Well,
So yes, the knowledge should has to be given rather than just keeping like and thinking that, oh, I should not
yeah,
tell anyone. It's much better to just share the stuff
yeah,
with everyone in the community. This community has given me a lot. So
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
just doing my part.
Yeah. Coming back to what you were saying, yeah, beautiful strategy, I think. Coming back to what you're saying about testing. So you
Yep.
said you test with 3 people full time. Like, how does it look like for our listeners? Like, um, is it like you give them certain strategies or certain tools to play around with, and then they come up with like
Yeah.
specific new nugget or something?
Yeah, we like you said previously, we always try to keep things simple
Right.
rather than just completing
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what we do
I
is
believe in the
we try.
same thing. SEO is simple.
Yeah,
Keep it
we
simple.
try to tell them that what we want in all this month. So on the different test projects we are working on, it could be GMB, it could be the affiliate sites, or it could be even the client sites as well. So we simply drill down that all these different 15 kind of a tests we're gonna do. The test could be simple. It could be like. All right. The test could be one of the tests we were working on is to test out this AI headlines.
Right.
Why is it that AI headlines are? Because AI can probably, they've got a big data set of things. So maybe they can actually go and write the prompt much better. So they can go and write the headlines much better. We just know. It's just all about testing.
Right.
So
Right.
what we are doing is we are trying to test out few things, few backlink strategies we are testing as well. So it's just a lot more easy. So we simply go and tell them, all right, these are the 15 tests we need to do, just execute them up. So they're going to start executing all those things. And the parameters, how we go and test if they are really working or not, it's with the help of the rank trackers. So we add all these keywords in the rank tracker, and on day-to-day basis, we try to figure out, okay, the rankings are going up or is it going down? So what kind of changes we made? So we always try to keep the log files for them.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
the beauty. We always try to keep every single log file so that we can go and reflect that thing. Okay, this is where we started the test. This is where we are now, and this is kind of a result.
But the
For example,
testing, sorry to cut you out, but the testing you
yeah,
said for a lot of like, I'm also wondering, like, is it like on client sites or dummy sites, like, or you mix it up?
well, it can be client side sometime as well, but we don't really do too much testing on the client sides
Okay.
because clients are sometimes like they don't really understand what's going on.
Right.
So that's where I told you, like we have got a lot of test sites as well. So though we try to work more on those test sites, because see, there is no point of actually start doing the work and implementing them up straight away on the client sites if you doesn't know what gonna be the result of that thing is. And that's why I'm calling it as a testing. For example, one of a recent tests I did with SEO Power Suite. We already know these guys, SEO Power Suite. They're pre seasoned guy in the industry, so they've got a SEO Power Suite software as well. So with the testing, it was all about using their basically the content editor recommendations and comparing that recommendations with the surfer. So I just told them, like I said, like I want to use your recommendations. I want to use the surfer recommendations as well. I want to see what kind of results are coming in, and I want to keep yourself involved into that too. So that was kind of a test. We did it. It took we made the content changes for those both of them, both copies. We added those both copies on a different pages on our test projects, and then we started comparing up that how's the things are going. So we use that software called SEO testing.ai, I think, and that's where we connect our Google Search Console, and that tells us, all right, how's the movements are going on, and at the same time we can see those movements along with our rank trackers as well. So rank trackers and that GSC movements, and that the SEO testing.com even can tell us like how's the impression like in the last 30 days, what kind of changes has been. So it's more kind of a summary which you can get it with that software. So that's how we play around with our test projects.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, I also do something similar, Rohin. Like, we'll get like a couple of sites and we'll play around with certain types of anchors and certain types of link types and see how the rank tracker actually does. I mean, I'll start it on my own personal projects. And if the personal project takes off, I'll just copy it to all my clients. And I think testing, analyzing, and just implementing is the easiest way to learn SEO today.
Exactly, because there's all about data. So in our agency, we have built out a lot of Python scripts and a lot of in-house Google Sheet add-ons as well. That is just to collect the data and play around with that. And once the data is with you, you can do a lot of testing in the way you can figure out, all right, I can make these changes, and it might gonna reflect the changes to this page in this fashion. So it's important that we should be knowing that how we are using and blending that data to get the outcome we really want.
Right.
So it's you're right. The testing is very important these days. The old same kind of theory is like, all right, add these many keywords or send this many backlinks to the page. It's not really something works. Even for the same site, one of a suburb, for example, the plumbing suburb and plumbing, let's say Sydney, you're working on, the results could be different from plumbing Melbourne for the same client. Maybe that's a nationwide client. So it's important to figure out what's going on and then start implementing the things accordingly.
Sweet, brother, sweet. But you know, like after listening to what you have to share about testing, analyzing, I feel like it also needs like a very ingenious mind, you know, just like you said, like you were into artificial intelligence, you got your degree. And for a normal person or a normal agency owner to think like this, you know, like it takes lots of brains, you know, like just to play around with things and stuff.
Exactly right. A lot of time is actually required as well, and especially you need a lot of skilled people in your team who understand or having the same kind of a mindset as like us, and who knows like how we need to read and implement the data or interpret the results we needed. Otherwise, it's just a waste. I mean, like there are plenty of tools available in the market. You can simply crawl any single website, but if you doesn't know how to read that information, it's not really going to help at all.
Yeah, I agree. So, as you know, like so much is changing in SEO. I was just thinking about it, like from last year, even like few months ago to now. We are in February, March. By the time this podcast come out. There's Google update every few days or every other week, you know. And like I'm playing around, you know, of like kind of surviving each Google update for my clients and stuff in my own little, like link volume, and keeping the authority that high that it does not really hit, like the client side, and he can surpass the update. But what would you say, like, what's in-house in terms of like you handling the updates, how you relate, how your team does the update rollouts, how do you handle it?
Um, so there are a few ways you can do it. I mean, like, say, we are, like I previously said, we are more into the data thing. We do not really go and do everything what we used to do like two years back or 3 years back. So it's a kind of a constant changes we need to make. Luckily, we survived all these updates as well with our own projects and even the client projects as well. Yeah, one of two of the projects I do remember out of such a big pool of projects we've been working on, which had a dip, but we know what kind of things we need to make it to that. Maybe they were in the early stages of the projects as well. So yeah, the team has to get updated what's going on. So we try to figure out what's going on, what we need, the changes we need to make in the projects, if there is any kind of sync, and just need to keep working on that. And one of our testing thing myself and Ravi were doing together, Ravi, my partner, was doing together, was like we have got a Google sheet in which we have integrated that SEM Rush API as well. And that thing tells us on a day-to-day basis how the movements are actually going up. And then we got all those traffic lights into that, which tells me, all right, the movements are going up or down, so that we can take a prompt actions to those. So these things are really important, that whenever there is an update, you should be prompt enough to pick it up really quickly. One of a good thing, what I always tell my team members are, all right, if they feel like there is an update and the rankings are going down, then you go and check it out when before the updates, who were in the top 10 rankings and who are in the top 10 rankings
Wow,
now, and then try to correlate that
that's a good one. That's
if
a good
there are
one.
any common guys.
Yeah.
One of a good software which can do it, because most of time you can't really see the top 10 results, Google top 10 results with every rank tracker, but Sub Robert has got that feature. In that one, you can literally figure out for the past 90 days, or even when you edit the project, that you can see, all right, at this time there is a big up climb in the ranking, or even a drop in the ranking, and the Google update was at that time as well. You can see, all right, before the Google update, who were the top 10 rankings when I was there too, maybe, and after the update, who are the top 10 guys. And then you can just basically take that data and you can start understanding like what's going on, what are the wins that guys has got, that they are still in the top 10, or maybe I'm not. So that's something we need to figure out. But like I said, it's very important. Yes, there's been a lot of changes. For example, the helpful content update was there. Then the link spam update came in December as well. But we need to understand that they are here to make your process refined. So as far as we are ahead of the game,
Yeah.
I think we are good. And that's one of the reasons, like you said, anchor text, or even the on-page changes. We need to understand what's going on. If do I really need to deserve to be on the page one? And if the
Yeah.
answer is yes, then you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
But if there is something we are trying to do fishy stuff, then obviously maybe we're gonna survive this time, but next time we're gonna crank it on.
Yeah. I mean, like, I say something similar as well. Like, from what you have told me, it's about like the update mindset. When it comes, you shouldn't be stressed. You should just look at the signs, what the
Yes.
first page is looking now versus before, and what adjustments you can make, basically. And you'll probably, if you site sync a little, or you went from a page to a page 3, you might come to
Yeah.
page 1 after you make all the adjustments. Who knows? You just need to be positive.
Exactly. You just need to be positive about it. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, like, just today I was just scrolling through my YouTube feed, and there's this video pops up, on my YouTube feed, and the video titles something like "Link building is useless. Do this some of my some of my strategy," and I was cracking so hard because I don't know, like all the SEOs I meet or all the people I hang out, like yourself, I don't know a single person not doing link building in their niches or in their site. So what are your thoughts on people who just say, don't do link building, just do good content and you will get rewarded? What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's just a one-sided game.
Yeah.
The both the things has to work out together. Like I always say, that links are not really going to help if the on-page basics hasn't been done properly. So the links will definitely get to complement. We do the link building for our projects as well. We spend a good amount of money on the building out the links for our projects. Why we do it? Because we know there is a benefit of link building. We are doing a lot of work. A lot of people, I mean, like they get suspicious about using PBNs. I know. We've been in the industry for so long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I openly say I still use PBNs. I use PBNs for all my personal projects as well. And doesn't mean that I am going to use it because I don't want to see my project, basically see my site in the rankings later on. No, I know that how you need to use it. As far as you are aware about how you have to use it, what kind of link velocity you have to use, and what is the best way to host those PBNs as well. I've got nearly like 800 PBNs as like you as well.
Yeah.
And it's just important. We need to understand. One of guy actually told me, I remember like a few days back, he said like, Rohin, what if this gonna tank my site rankings in Google? I'm sitting in the top. I said like, all right, if that's the case, then I'm probably gonna go and point these PBNs to one of your competitor sites. I'm gonna rank them, tank them up. You automatically gonna go up in the rankings. That's like not really going to happen, man. It's you need to understand to whom you are using and to do it, because one of a bigger mistake a lot of times people actually do in the SEO industry, and especially the SEO agencies, just to save a bit of a dollar, they just keep on moving from one vendor to the another and from second to the third and keep going on. But I always feel like one of the best way to succeed in the business we are doing is like just stick to the people, because you're gonna understand their mindset. Just give them a kind of trust that, hey, I'm here to listen to you. I'm giving you the full liberty to do the work in your way you do, and we're gonna show you the results accordingly.
Yeah.
But if you start moving from one vendor to another or third vendor, then it's very hard. But link building is super important. Today it was, and definitely it's going to be important in the future as well. But the links should pass some kind of editorial process. I mean, like it should not be the web 2.0 kind of things. The web 2.0 kind of things really going to help you out with the topical and geo-relevancy. But if you're saying like it's going to move the needle, no, it is not going to move the needle at all. You need the powerful links going to your site as well.
Yeah, completely agreed. But one thing, very surprisingly, you're telling me you have an 800 PBN site network. You never told me, bro. Maybe after this podcast, you give me your email and I'll send you like a business proposition or something to expand things.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Definitely a lot of sites we have scaled. We actually moved a lot of domains from SEODN inventory to our PBN inventory as well now, because we are slowly get more into this particular SEO thing and media buying, rather than having a different kind of businesses. That's one of the reasons we are not really promoting that SEODN or that brand anymore, because we are moving more into this digital marketing thing right now. But that's one of the reasons. But most of the time we use our inventory for our own projects, because we've been working on so many projects right now too, and even for our managed agency projects only.
Awesome,
so
brother.
we're not really too much into retail going on.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I just coming to PBNs, like I just made a video 2 days ago, like ranking my site completely with PBNs and AI content. It's already got 500 views without me mentioning on my email list or Facebook. It's just going, it's picking up by the industry. So coming to what's trending, AI, ChatGPT-3. What's going on, brother? What have you been testing?
It's powerful. It's powerful, no doubt. And we've been using OpenAI a lot in our in our proper processes as well to increase the productivity.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ask me to use the AI for the content, no, I'm not using it.
Yeah.
I honestly tell you, I'm not really using OpenAI for the content side. Yes, we are using it a bit for the Web 2.0s, or maybe some kind of like a the GPs kind of thing as well. But we are not really using them for content on our money side. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
difference. The content on the money side, or even the content on the parasite pages, it's still okay. Money side, no, I don't use it. I'm using more AI as an assistant to do the research part, for which we used to do a lot of work manually. So now the team is happy. I mean, like, they have to punch in a couple of lines and they get the results straight away. For example, the schema codes, for example, that catchy titles. So you can just simply go
Yeah.
and say, all right, give me some catchy titles for this topic. They're going to give you the topics. And then we need to ask the writers to start writing it about. Or you can go and tell AI that I want to create a blog on this particular topic and create me categories. So they're going to give you categories, then the subcategories. They're going to give you subcategories. Then you can create your entire pillar structure. So the homework kind of thing, the outline structure, that's something we are using with the AI. I've even polished all my email marketing, basically autoresponder series and everything with the AI as well. We all those white label videos, shorts, and everything. We are preparing those scripts with the AI. So yeah, we've been using this a lot,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think with just time, like this stuff is just gonna get better and better. But
Yep.
my question for you, do you think like Google can ever detect AI? Like it's getting
Um,
very questionable in the community. Like everybody's talking about it and discussing.
well, yeah, they definitely can.
Right.
Because see, how hard is that? Who are building their own model, bred AI, and for them to figure out and match the data points. So Google works on the data point. It's an algorithm. For an algorithm,
Mm.
it's not too hard. They're the PhD guys sitting over there who've been writing the code all day long. How hard it is for them to just switch on the button and say, "All right, just pick it up the sites like that." I'm not saying it's bad, but like I said, for me, it's not a very big concern because, like I said, I am not using AI for my content writing kind of thing. I think that for that particular purpose, we still need to use the writers because the human touch and that thing is very important. Because maybe I'm gonna save some money today, but tomorrow maybe those sites gonna get hurt, and we cannot really take that kind of risk with the client sites. So that's one of reason, but we're still doing a lot of testing on the AI content right now. Who knows that maybe the view gonna get changed
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a
We
month
just
or
have to
so.
we just have to wait and watch out, like for all the things that kind of evolve and just see if it's
Yeah,
gonna take
exactly,
over.
exactly. Because I believe the next update, because there is everywhere in the community is Chat GPT or AI is going on. So I think the next update probably be more focused not around backlinks or something. It could be more focused around AI because
Mm,
that's how the Google actually react to the situations every single time. If you see,
mm,
whenever they were like any on page stuff, for example, then Google used to come as a hit for that one, and they always roll the updates to make the SERPs much better.
right.
But an AI is something definitely going to hit them, so they need to roll out some kind of an update, as I believe, very soon. They probably be waiting for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's
Anyways,
see.
we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Well, coming to my next question for you, brother.
Yep.
Like in SEO, there's so many different niches. Even like you running a link building agency versus I also run a link building, business and stuff. And you
Yep.
get so many niches, so many keywords, so many,
Yep.
like data. What would you say, like, how different is it, like ranking one site, let's say in local, to ranking another site in ecom? Like, how different it is?
Say the basic fundamentals, SEO fundamentals are still the same.
Hmm.
It's not really going to change if you're working on, let's say, on on a local side or if you're going to work on an e-com. Yes, there are few things going to get changed. For example, with the e-com, it's more kind of clusters which work. When it comes to e-com, it most like we need to work on the collection pages as well. We need to work on the product pages as well. Then we cannot really hit and the budget of course is a big thing as well, because when the client is coming on a limited budget and they want to work on want us to work on their e-com project, then it's definitely be an issue, because there's so many collection pages, so many product pages. We cannot really directly hit the product pages with the backlinks as well. So that's where the we need to be a little bit biased. But yes, the fundamentals are the same. It's just like some extra strategies we need to work on locals and e-coms. For example, with the local, we do all those schemas, local schemas. We do local profiles, geo networks kind of thing. That is another way to tell Google that, hey, I'm a real business. I live in this area, so help me rank better in that particular area for this particular keyword. Whereas in e-com, it's more kind of a nationwide keywords. Nationwide keywords is like when the client wants to rank for in maybe in Sydney, in Melbourne, in for those areas for the same kind of collection pages. That's where the whole overall things do get changed, because we have to work on some bigger keywords that time. And of course, for bigger keywords, the budget plays an important role as well.
Yeah, for sure. And coming to you saying bigger keywords and stuff, well, that's my follow-up question. Like, let's say you get a client with 25,000 index keywords and 500,000 traffic, and they're like, okay, Rohin, we have been here at this level for the last few months. We want to take things to a 2 million traffic, like 4x. So what would you suggest a client like that? What would be the link numbers? What would be the budget? What's the entire strategy?
Well, with this kind of clients, because we do have some kind of clients like that, it's usually we try to find out the opportunities, where the opportunities are. Maybe, for example, we can tell them, all right, share, we go into their Google Search Console and we try to figure out for this particular keywords, for this kind of keyword or this client, how many keywords are getting the impressions and even the clicks, but those keywords does not exist on the pages at all. So we have got our own Python scripts for it. We do have released a Google Sheet add-on on Google Sheet Marketplace as well. So if you go and search for SEO research tools, you're gonna find out that particular add-on as well. So that add-on do the very much the same thing. It find out some golden nuggets in the client side, and it tells us, all right, we take the data from Google Search Console. We crawl every single page in the background, and we're gonna say, all right, for this keyword, if this keyword exists in H1, H2, or the body content. And then we use the filters and figure out, all right, these keywords are worth targeting in the page, because without the existence of the keyword, the client is still getting the traffic and impressions. So if you target it well, maybe the client start going from position number 10, for example, to position number 1. That's one thing. Obviously, the second thing is the content gaps. That's where the content gap we try to find out, all right, for this client, maybe it's worth targeting these particular keywords. And if the client say, yes, these are the good keywords we can go with, then we ask our writers to go and start creating those outlines and create the proper content pages for those. And that's another thing. And the third thing is, which is our quick wins. That's something we do it all the time, every time, is we drop through that client side in href, and then we go to position 5 to 20, for example, and then the search volume is something kind of, if it's a high bigger traffic site, then we try to figure out the search volume, which is above 500 searches per month, and then we see how many keywords a client has got which are sitting with position 5 to 20 and search volume of 500 plus. So maybe href gonna tell me, okay, they have got nearly, like, let's say 500 keywords or 1000 keywords which are sitting today between 5 to 20. Then we say, all right, let's start the link building for these particular pages, or the on-page optimization if required for these pages, because it's easy for us to move these pages which is sitting on page 1 or page 2 to the top results, rather than something working on a new page, or even the page which is sitting, like, let's say page 5 or 6 or 10 onwards. So this is how we start rolling out more traffic to them and show more value to these guys in a short span of time.
Right, right. And yeah, great points, great points. I mean, I'm also like learning a lot from asking you these questions. I should have got my notebook actually, but I'll ask you again after this call. But what I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like, what are the link numbers looking, brother? Because I feel like, because I got a client and they came with the e-com site and I was like 500 PBN links, these many niche edits and these many guest posts, and they kind of like relied the first month campaign and traffic almost got doubled, and now they just want to scale up, the link numbers. So what would you suggest these kind of people who are playing like the big ball niche, like what the numbers looking, bro?
See, Saket, it's really hard to say without looking into the site or
Right,
without looking at the pages itself, because it's otherwise it's gonna be more kind of a guesswork from my end. Because see, you are telling them based on the pages which you have reviewed or
right.
analyzed. So it's easy for you to tell them, but if without looking at the site, it's
It
more kind of
depends. It depends.
I'll
Let's
do.
just end it there. It depends.
Yeah, but usually we start with like 10 or 20 backlinks every single page, and then we see how those movements are going on. If there is upside or downside or whatever, but we try to keep a very close eye. Then we start ramping it up more accordingly. I personally don't go much aggressive
Right.
with the things unless until I analyze and see, all right, there is a calculative risk, I can take it up here. But otherwise, in the first month or so, I always go slow and I increase the speed once we get into the month 2 or month 3.
Link
That's
velocity. You
my
increase the
personal.
link velocity with time, right?
Yes, yes, the link velocity, I always go slow and then I start ramping it up from month 2 or month 3 onwards.
And do you have like any specific link velocity you follow? Or it just depends again?
No, I don't have any particular link
Yeah,
velocity in
same.
mind. I always go with the data we usually get. And then based on the data, we try to see like what kind of backlinks we need to send them. If the niche areas could be bigger, or should we go with hyper theme guest posts? Hyper theme guest posts are more kind of when we create the post taking consideration their geo-relevance. And that's something I was talking to Chris Walker other day, and Chris was very much interested in these kind of things as well for their projects too. So that's kind of thing we say, all right, this is a client, so we always try to keep their primary keyword in the title, meta title, even in the h1, even in the URL, and in the first 100 words very close to their branded anchor text. So if their site is rohindua.com, for example, then we always use the Rohin Dua as an anchor text, but we keep the primary anchor in a close proximity to that. So we try to figure out based on the data that what kind of link we have to use and what kind of link velocity we have to roll out as well. And then based on that, but usually I go slow in month 1, but I go ramp it up very quickly in the month 2 or month 3 once we get a bit of an idea how the rankings are reacting to those particular
Yeah.
backlinks we have sent in.
Yeah, yeah, yes. I do something similar as well. Seeing
Yep.
how Google reacts to the situation and adapt accordingly. Perfect,
Yes,
perfect.
true. That's true.
And yeah, I think we've covered AI, we covered PBNs, backlinks, the tools, the testing you do with the team. There's a lot of information. I think for the people who are watching, they're gonna get a lot from this podcast.
Yep.
Let's say podcast, right? And
Yeah.
it's just two brothers, SEO brothers, having conversation. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No, I personally, there's been a lot of tools which we've been using in our agency right now. For example, Screaming Frog. We all know Screaming Frog, so we take a feed from Screaming Frog, and then we have got like a different Google Sheet add-ons. Some of them we have those scripts we have created ourselves, and then those scripts, what they do is they take the feed from Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and then they give us kind of recommendations. They tell us, all right, for this particular page, this is a poor engagement coming in, and the CTR is very low. It's more kind of easy way to figure out that what steps we have to take in consideration. Because see, maybe I am very good in reading out the data, but I need to produce the things in a way so that it should be easy for my team as well to understand and to implement too, because they are the one who has to do the work on the ground level. So that's where, or when I create any kind of SOPs, video SOPs or anything, I always take in consideration like what steps I have to, or how simple I can make the things for them, so that they can understand. Even newbie who is coming on board after a week, they can do and implement the things easily as well. And that's where the tools and the scripts really gonna be helpful. And that's one of the reason why we created all those scripts. For example, I think I shared with you last time when we met that we have created a script in which you can load it out like maybe like 300 URLs, and in the next row you can load out your anchor text and just click the button. It's gonna tell you straight away. It will crawl the basically the backlink in the background, and it will tell you straight away like if that page is 404, if the anchor text is okay. Or maybe sometimes it happen like you pay the dollars to some high-end bloggers, and then once they get the payment, they sometimes get fishy and they remove the anchor text as well, or they mark the anchor text as no follow in the background. And because we cannot really see each and everything on a day-to-day basis, and that's where these scripts really gonna be helpful to figure out. So I feel like the tools are very important. The agency automation is very important as well, rather than spending all our time day in day out on in getting the working on the projects. So it's important to just follow kind of a process. For example, I always follow the process which I understood or maybe learned a few years back from that Timothy Ferris 4-hour work week, which is
Oh,
VEA.
I was just thinking about it. I was gonna ask,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah, just define all your problems.
yeah,
Just define all your problems and then see what problems are just chewing up your time and not really giving us any results. And just remove those tasks from your list, and the rest of stuff just automate as much as you can. And then it comes to liberation.
yeah.
So just give liberty to your team so that they can take the command, they can roll it, and they can do it further. For example, we got a bigger team. It's very hard for me to go and spoon feed or talk to every single of my team member. That's where we have got team leads. So the whole hierarchy structure in this way, like I usually talk to my team members only, and they control the whole team all by themselves. So whenever there is new hirings are involved, we have got we got a process in place for the hirings as well. But I always ask my team lead to jump on a call when we are doing any new hirings, so that they should know if this guy is a right fit to take their instructions or not. So it's important to involve the teams in the overall process too.
Yes, yes. And they need to kind of like meet your energy of things as well sometimes, because I feel like when you hire your people, like you build a culture, and they have to kind of like be able to communicate and follow up your instructions, and just be on that level of, feedback, or just like integrity and honesty. Like, what are your thoughts? What would you say to the listeners? Like, what are the best pointers for hiring new team members? There are a lot of people, they have businesses, affiliate size agencies and local businesses. Like, how
Yep.
they should go on about hiring the correct team members.
See, most of time we try to hire the people who does not have too much experience in SEO, because whoever is coming in with a lot of experience, trust me or not, I've seen from my personal experience, it's very hard to train them, because
Because
they
they're
always
really
come with
cocky and stuff, right?
mindset. And to give you so let's say we are going and telling them, all right, do this, they probably have to take a shortcut, have to do it their way.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where the fresh are really going to be very, very helpful. We hire a lot of IT guys, we hire a lot of college students, these engineers as well. And the reason for hiring the freshers are because, first thing, I've got a lot of faith on the SOPs, the one which I have created, because I know they are super simple for them to understand and implement. And the second thing is like that guy is coming with a lot of energy on board, and to learn something. So first thing, that guy doesn't know, and the second thing is like he wants to learn something. So he gonna understand the process and he gonna implement that thing step by step with no step skip. And that's how I do it. And trust me, it really works great. Girls, they're always much better. That's in doing the work. That's
Yeah.
other thing, and especially the customer service. So I've got more guys in the boys who are in the SEO team, but when it comes to the customer service or day-to-day stuff, I feel like the girls, they are much better.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
give a
yeah.
much better.
And they're very good
Thank
writers
you.
as well. They're very good writers. Like,
They're very good writers. Exactly right. They're very, very good writers as well. So I personally feel like hiring is something important, but yeah, just give them the liberty, hire the right people, and always involve your team leads into the things. So and have a good retention packages for them.
yes.
When it comes to retention packages, like for example, we've got a retention package is we help them out with the affiliate sites, and we tell them, all right, you don't need to rely just on the salaries only. You need to actually go and start building out your own projects. That's where we're going to spend that time and money along with you as well. So we're going to spend our resources. You can use our tools and all that, and just build out your own projects. So just help them out. Sometimes if it happens, like we tell them, all right, we're going to host those projects on our servers and domains, is something we're going to spend as well. The link building and everything we're going to spend as well. And whatever the income we're going to get it after for those affiliate projects, we're going to split it in some way. So the major portion goes to them. Some portion comes to us because we are spending in the form of overheads as well. But the beauty is like they get on the board with us for quite a long time in that way.
That's a
So
beautiful way. That's a
we
beautiful
need
way
to
to
give
motivate
them,
people, I think. Like,
yeah, we
yeah,
need to
yeah,
give them some kind of like a retention,
yeah.
I guess.
You know what I do? Like with some of my team members, like I do something similar and I'm just like, you don't have to rely on me completely. I'll help you get more like clients outside it if it does not
Yeah.
bother my workload and you can
Yes.
handle more people from outside. I'll help you get those people and I do refer them people and also like I'll just give them like some tips on maybe how to meditate or how to be stress
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
and how to have a better relationship with your family or your wife or your husband, whosoever it is in the situation. And following up,
Yes.
the next question, like how do you do SEO life balance, because I feel like most of the SEOs I've met personally, not all of them, just some of them, they sometimes are very stressed and they have very compulsive kind of behaviors and they're just like into this SEO and they kind of like stress all the time, like. So, and looking at you, like I see some light, I see you've been keeping away from the laptop and you're just like balancing things out. So what's the advice you can give to our fellow
Um,
listeners?
yeah, exactly. The only way which you can get out of all this day-to-day stress is to, like I previously said, automating your things, have a strong systems in place. Otherwise, you're gonna be in the thing all the time.
Yeah.
You need to make kind of thing, all right, that first things are like you need to set up your routine.
Yep.
Routine is like I need to sit that many hours unless until there is something super important going on. Otherwise I'm not really going to work on anything else.
Right.
So that being said, try to define your problems and then automate those problems. There are two different ways to do it. And so let's take it this way. For example, we are doing a lot of sales stuff right now, and then we try to and we were sending out the manual emails to the guys. So there was a kind of a lot of time we were wasting on sending out the emails and then figuring out when the follow up has to go, when the second follow up has to go, what we need to write it down with the follow ups. So what I did, I created a kind of a Google sheet setup with a different tabs and all that, in which you select it on, like, all right, once the call is done, you select the first tab, and then it's just automates everything after that, throughout the complete customer lifetime journey. You know what I mean? So you need to take this little bit of steps out of the thing. First of all, you need to figure out that what is something which is wasting a lot of my time, and then you simply go and automate those things, and whatever is left with, just focus on those, and you're going to see there's not much work you need to spend that way. in front of laptop, especially.
Yeah, great info, great info. I mean, I do something similar as well. I'll just like communicate with my clients occasionally. Then I have a team member. He handles the VAs, and another team member handles the link building part and all the websites that run under our network. And then I'll just keep the communication and strategize. And yeah, I think you just need to have SOPs ready for your team and just kind of like play around with how you can get more stuff done by putting in the less hours, because I feel like that's how you become a better SEOpreneur, like entrepreneur. And
Exactly.
yeah,
Because if you have to spend all your time in front of the laptop, you can't really think much. You
yeah,
cannot really think of the different ideas how you can scale your entire business. So scaling the business is another thing on top of that.
yeah. And if you're spending all the time looking at the rankings and stuff, like you're not gonna be patient. You're gonna become impatient with time, and then you're gonna end up being like, SEO is dead. SEO is not for me. I'm changing my line of profession. Like
Yeah,
you've seen
that's
some
true.
people do it. So yeah, guys, just get off your screen. You don't have to be like checking the Google updates, the Google rankings, what's happening, and just have the SEO life balance. And Rohin, you mentioned like you have uh lots of
Different
different businesses,
business.
different business partners,
Yep.
and like some of them I'm aware, like your personal brand rohindua.com, and then
Yep.
there's Rankjacker, then there's Outreach
Yep.
Warriors, Search Combat. Am I missing
Yep.
something?
Yeah, so there are few domains we accidentally opened up. So Outreach Warrior was definitely one of them. We never focus on Outreach Warrior at all. But the main brand, what we've been working right now is either Rankjacker. Rankjacker is one of company which has started like 8 years back. And another one is Search Combat, of course, with Ravi. You know that. So Search Combat and Rankjacker, they both are having same kind of a businesses, same kind of a basically services, but different clienteles. So all different clienteles in them. But yeah, mainly we are more into managed SEO campaigns. We are working closely with agencies right now. So we've been working with a lot of guys from US, UK, Australia, especially. And yeah, that's all about it. SEO
Oh
is
yeah,
it's a
I heard
pretty
about your acquisition, SEODN last
yeah.
year. Can
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
go into a little story how it happened and how you guys decided, and how was the process? Was it easy? Was it complicated? Like,
See, the process was kind of pretty easy because SUD, and that was a core business of Josh Boyton. And Josh, he was a good friend of mine for past few years. We met few times even in Melbourne as well. And I remember Josh had enough in this domain selling business, and he was trying to get out of it. And he just spoke to me. And at that time, I said like, all right, we can have a think about it, if he can take over the entire business. So we took the entire business from him. That includes all the clientele, that includes all the domain inventory, and the best part was the server scripts. So one of our server scripts, Josh is kind of a good techie guy, I can say, or he know how to hire the best developers and use them for to get the work done. So one of server script he gave us at that time was like it can just simply go and you throw in any site, for example, Forbes, and there are like multi crawlers which run in a way rather than some traditional crawling script in the market, which takes like maybe like 4 hours or 6 hours to crawl Forbes. That script can actually crawl in a matter of minutes. And in the matter of minutes, which can it can give you the entire thing. All right, these domains are available in the markets, ready to register up. So we use them a lot to pick it up, and then we use a lot of auction domains. We use a lot of drop cache domains as well. So that's how we purchased his entire business model. We acquired that thing, and that's actually going good. But the only problem is we are not giving too much time onto it
right.
right now.
Right.
And myself and Ravi, we do understand that mainly all our focus is going in basically SEO agencies and SEO right now, that we can't really give too much focus. That's one of the reason why we moved a big chunk of inventory from SEDN to our PBN inventory as well, so that we can start utilizing those domains and get the recover the cost which we have spent it over there. Because for SEO domains, we have got a lot of managed projects, we have got a lot of clienteles which where we can get the return for those domains straight away.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one of the reason why we are not getting much into that domain selling business anymore now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're probably gonna slowly we are on the process to wrap it up too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, less distraction, more focus, less distraction. That's
Yeah.
that's what we are working right now.
Yes.
And yeah, apart from that, we are in the process right now to start a creative agency as well. So when it says creative agency, is a lot of time it happens like the people who are having, for example, e-commerce guys who are having products, but they do not know how to get all those shoots and everything done. That's where the creative agency gonna come into play. We're gonna tell them, all right, send us your product, we're gonna get all the models, and we're gonna get all the creative ideas, everything initiated, and basically based on that, we will go and do the entire shoot done for them. And then
Is it
that's
like
step
online,
number.
or do you have a studio? Is going to be a studio somewhere?
We are in the process to actually hire a complete studio as well.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, that's what's the idea is. I was in Pondicherry basically a couple of months ago for the same process, to get in touch with some of the creative engineers as well. So yeah, that's in the process. So maybe in next couple of months, we might gonna add that thing in our overall search combat bouquet as well.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. I hope everything works out with this creative agency, because I see a lot of demand in the market, and I think it can be a good way to expand the portfolio of businesses and how you give value to people at the end of the day. And following up, having multiple businesses, there's multiple business partners that are involved. What would you
Yes.
say, like I see in our communities, like there's a lot of, this partner did something and this partner did something. And when I talk to you, I feel like we have a quite good, like understanding of how to be direct and have good communication with the partners. Like, how would you say people who are having challenges with business partners or communication gaps, like how they can improve on that angle side of things?
Well, Well, I guess the communication is the only tool which they can
Yeah.
use to clear out all the doubts, because
Yeah.
it's just the lack of communication which create a lot of gaps sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can communicate much with your partners, as far as the partner is having a like-minded approach as well. So you can communicate much with them, and you can see kind of a bottlenecks and split the duties as well. You can see the bottlenecks in your complete business model, and you can see, all right, I can handle this and you can handle on that particular bit. So it could be a lot more easy, that in the less time we can have more focused approach together to reach our overall goals. So split the duty is something, another thing what I have seen, because everyone is having their own way of doing the things, and sometimes they are right as well.
Yeah.
So communication and having a focused end goal and approach is very
Hmm.
important to keep going in this business. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of conflict,
Yeah.
and that's gonna end up
Yeah.
with the split in the business.
Yeah. And what would I recommend, like, my friends who have businesses and partners, like, yeah, just be direct with the conflicts, just see if you can work things out. And if the
Yes.
conflict keeps repeating, after months and years, like, just basically end things. It's okay, like, you're just not meant to be together, and there's always something you learned having this partnership in place. So take
Yes.
what you
Yeah.
learned, write down all the lessons, and just move on and find a new business partner, or just take it solo, you know.
Exactly right. So it's something really very important, I say, because I've got two different agencies. On one side, I've got my brother-in-law with me, and on the other side, I've got my partner Ravi. He's been we know each other for the past 16 years now. We did engineering together, and so yeah, it's been a long time. So we all know understand the mindset. We understand like what kind of mindset he has got, and then there are plenty of things which I don't really get involved into, and he's the one who is best to handle that thing rather than me. So whoever is best, just let them do the things, and if they really need the help somewhere, they're gonna come back and ask us for what is the best way to go ahead with this. So communication is the tool.
Yeah.
That's where you said like a lot of, there's no point of just linger on your entire business model and your end goals by not understanding or not having a like-minded mindset.
Yeah. Communication is the goal. Communicate, being direct, and if it's not working out, let's just call it
Just move
quits.
on.
Just call it quits, because I feel like some people just do things because they're scared they can't do it alone, and that keeps them just getting that same bullshit, same arguments over and over again until they are so stressed and fed up, and they're like, okay, this is not for me. Guys, just call it quits. If you see the signs and you communicate and you know on the same wavelength, it's okay.
Yes,
It's okay to end things.
okay to end things. That's true.
Yes, brother. I feel like this podcast, we covered a lot of things, and yeah, there's so much value that people can actually get
Yep.
listening to this conversation. And just on a
Yeah.
last note, like wrapping this podcast up, what do you think
Yep.
is the best SEO advice you can give to our viewers watching? Because I feel like I tell them the same old thing: keep things simple, don't complicate.
Yeah.
There are people
True.
who will write things about AI, this percentage, this velocity, this. Just
Yeah,
keep
no,
things simple.
it's overcomplicated things in itself.
Yeah,
There is no, just keep things simple. Go with the data, because data is not going to get you wrong anywhere as far as you have collected right data and you know what is the approach I'm going to take it and you have a complete trust on it. Just go ahead with that. And yeah, that's automate as many things as you can in your life so that you can get rid of this day-to-day dramas, and you can spend more time with your family as well, because by the end of the day it's more important to spend the time with the family. Otherwise there's no meaning of actually being in the business and earning a lot of money if you can't really celebrate that thing with your family and enjoy the small wins
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
So let's say I've got a kind of a dominoes effect. So if you got something bigger, that's a kind of a big plans. So it's important that you enjoy the small things which come in a way with your family, with your team, and so that and get everyone involved into it. That's how I do it. And I don't know about others, but for me it's working great.
Agreed, brother. Agreed. Thank you. Thank you. For all the listeners who want to find you after this podcast, Rohin, where they can just find
Ah,
you
well,
easily.
well, the best way is like just add me on Facebook and send me a quick message. That's the way to go. So just go to Facebook and search with my name, Rohin Dua. You will find my face up there. Just hit me a message. And
And all the guests, all the listeners listening, I'll also link up to all his social medias and businesses. So if you want to check out, feel free. And yeah, I think Rohin has been my mentor for quite a few years. He's guided me on a few things as well. And he's
uh,
definitely in the SEO industry to look out for. Definitely one of my top guys. And yeah, thank you, Rohin, for being in this
that's
podcast. Thank you for your time.
thank you,
And
sir. Thanks.
yes,
Bye bye.
yes, and I'll see you soon, brother.
Yeah, sure. You too.
All right.
Bye bye.